Hello, and good evening once again. Dr. Alalade here at Ask the Gynecologist. So we're back again on our show on the air, and I want to say good evening to everyone. As you're well aware, my name is Dr. Alalade, and I'm always happy and thrilled to be here live, talking to our members and to you, trying to expose how you can improve your lifestyle, improve yourself, and also be able to achieve what you ever want to be as a woman, whether you're trying to get rid of fibroids, trying to get rid of ovarian cysts, or infertility is a problem. Whatever it is, over here at ATG Ask the Gynecologist online on Facebook group, we talk about all these things consistently to ensure that people know more about their body and about how their body functions. You're all well aware, anyway, that our seminar for this month is going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Saturday, West African time, we'll be on talking about things and how about ovulation, about infertility, about clomid, about IVF. I can see people already online. Princess Yemi Bekis, one of our nurses at the ATG IVF Center. If you ever want to get advice on how to proceed on your IVF journey, if you call our center, Yemi is one of the nurses that will be attending to you, telling you what you should do, how you can make your dream come true. She's fantastic, amazing at what she does. We also have Favor Kelechi here, Fumi Rita Isume, Sarah Midala Balami, and Princess Miracle. On Instagram, we have Dagoja, Jesse Wealth, Lindsay, something like that. See, the names on Instagram are so difficult to pronounce. But anyhow, thank you guys for coming up live on Instagram here. Once again, my name is Dr. J. Jidoba at Ask the Gynecologist. I'm so happy to be here. So tonight, I'll be talking about ovulation. So if you have that time, listen to me attentively. I'll be telling you some of the few things we'll be talking about and exposing tomorrow. Ibrahim Ajibola Khadija, Oluwatomisi Makinde Oyowo. How are you, my sister from Ibadan? She was at our center recently. Munisola Alabi Oyenuga, Francis, Celestina Joy, Mora Grace, Ibrahim Ajibola Khadija. Thank you so much, my sister, Princess Miracle. And we have, if I've missed your name, please forgive me. Fumi Rita Isume, Sarah Medala, Ogun, something. Sorry, name. Ibrahim, Vicky, jeez. Yes, my baby is doing well. Thank you, Grace and Tony, for asking. I'm Tosu, Kauna Baturi, all the way from northern Nigeria. How are you, Kauna? Thank you so much for joining us here. I guess Kauna is from Kaduna, something. Amaka Wachuku, thank you, guy. Thank you so much. Tosu, blessing, Omobalanli Amina, and hello on Instagram. Thank you, Expensive Tyra. And thank you guys, Jagoha from Instagram. You can hear me loud and clear. Thank you so much. Because sometimes I might need to raise my voice so you can hear me. I'm on here once again with your one and only friend and your one and only doctor, Dr. Jidoba, Dr. Wesabi. That's one of my hashtags on social media. So tonight, I'll be talking about ovulation. I'll try and move my camera towards my whiteboard here so ensure that people can see me. I'm not sure if people will be able to see me on Instagram, but I'll try my possible best to bring the camera to the whiteboard on Instagram so that people can also see me on YouTube as well. Yeah. So there's a lady talking about my camera, about my cap. Thank you so much for missing. Yes. And maybe I'll get you one of these caps when I come to Lagos, and you see ATG logo on it. If we have some funds, I will do some caps and we have an ATG logo on the cap like that. Damazi Gift, Messi Wago, Kucheli, David Dibal, and we have Acholono Adaugo, Chibuleze, Free Solange from Cameroon. And guys, let us start. Let us delay and waste time. Bolu Esther, Oluwadarasimi Kehinde Salami, Kauna Bature. Yeah, Kauna is from Abuja. I always see your name all the time. I'm online. I always see Kauna Bature all the way from Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you so much. I guess that the name will be from the north. Wonderful lady. Wonderful. She's always here anytime we're online. Gloria Wanko Konji, thank you. One of our moderators. Tomi Sima Kindeoyo. Yes, Adaogo Chibweze Acholono. Thank you, my sister. You're beautiful, and thank you for being here. Warrior Ruth 33. Liz Queen, she's one of our moderators on Instagram. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. And Mildred Wukari, Aziza Tanusi, and Iya Ishuku Amarachi, Nkem, Annunciata Emeka, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. Amoa Sapona Dina, Bashir Alabimpe, Abdul Karim, Sarah Obiano Junwa, Deborah Deki, Josephine Nwa, Ifeoma Fine Face, Dimobika, Gift Odise. Okay, guys, let us now focus on, and Monica Njoige from Kenya, Inya Chukwamarachi from Port Harcourt, Sina Johnson Adoki, I think that's from Ghana, Blessing Ileomo, Chi Okonkwo, how are you too, my sister? Babaleye, Blessing, Faith. Yes, well, Precious, you see, I'm always looking good, lovely. Thank you so much. You two, you're always looking beautiful and fabulous. Thank you, my sister. Thank you so much. Yes. Let's talk about ovulation, right? Now, for anybody to get pregnant naturally, okay, ovulation is a very, very important, precise, decisive moment in a woman's reproductive cycle. That is why a lot of women will spend so much fortune to do this particular test to know whether they are ovulating or not, whether it's clear blue test, checking their egg white mucus, and so on and so forth. Women will always do everything they can in their possible best to know if and when they are ovulating, because sometimes your husband could be far away, is in Abuja, you're in Akure, your husband is in Abuja, you're in Kano, he's in Lagos, you're in Parako, for whatever reason, economic reasons, or in the abroad. So you want to know when you're ovulating so that your husband can come in to meet you when you're ovulating to make sure things happen. This is every woman's desire, every husband's to-be desire, and that is what we want to talk about tonight. So what is ovulation? Ovulation essentially is when the ovary releases an egg, and the egg passes through the tube to get into the womb cavity to wait for the semen, to wait for the sperm to get pregnant. Like I always do all the time talking, I always bring out this wonderful model of the womb and ovaries. You can see on Instagram this wonderful, beautiful piece, right? So the egg is released from the ovary. The egg will find its way and enter into the tube and move and swim all the way down the tube and enter into the womb cavity. The tube is connected into the womb cavity. You can see that tube entering the womb cavity there and on the other side here as well. So the egg stays there. Sometimes while it's still moving into the tube, the sperm will go and meet it there to fertilize the egg, and then the egg, which becomes the embryo. Fertilized egg is now called embryo. It goes and implants in the womb cavity and it starts to develop there. 2 days ago, I talked about ectopic pregnancy. If for any reason the egg can't swim down, once the egg is fertilized, once the embryo is fertilized, it starts to grow. Okay. Now you wonder, why can't egg start to grow before it's fertilized in the tube? As far as the egg has not been fertilized, it does not start to grow. It will be looking for the sperm to combine, and the power of creation will start to form inside that egg. Once that egg meets sperm, it becomes called embryo. Fertilized egg is called embryo. And as soon as possible, the embryo must move and go and implant in the womb cavity. If the embryo cannot move, because embryos or eggs are bigger than sperm, they are heavier and they are more robust than eggs. That's why women are beautiful than men. I'm just joking anyway. If the egg, the embryo, cannot move, it gets stuck in the tube and the sperm will go and fertilize it there and it will start to grow there. Because the egg is not designed to grow in the tube, it will outgrow the tube's size or diameter and it will rupture. That is a ruptured ectopic pregnancy, which can be an emergency and can kill. I talked about that 2 days ago. Today, I'll be talking about the things you should watch out for. What signs are very, very ominous and obvious to suggest that you're ovulating or not, and how you can possibly count your ovulation. I'll be going into details during the seminar tomorrow anyway, by the way. And tomorrow's seminar is going to be a one of its kind. We're going to find a way to ensure that people are able to join the seminar more often in numbers, and so many changes are coming to ATG next month. So get ready for new changes that will be beneficial to everybody on ATG starting from next month. You'll be amazed, surprised, and there'll be so much free offers, free gifts without any strings attached coming up on ATG next month. There's going to be a new thing. ATG is a pace setter in everything we do in Nigeria, in everything we do in the world. We copy nobody, because everything we do is God-given, okay? And everything we do is God-inspired, and there are things and ideas that has never been found before by the grace of God. Anyway, ATG is God. God is in ATG, and by the grace of God, wonderful things are coming. That's just by the way. Now, I don't want to break the news before you see what happens next month. So let's move on. Now, ovulation is very critical. Every woman wants to know when she's ovulating. And people are looking for this egg white thing, this mucus discharge, and so on and so forth, temperature and others. Yes, these things are very, very crucial, but not everybody sees all of this. You will see some of them, you may not see them. But the first thing that always tells you that you're ovulating, which is very important, listen attentively, is that number one, you have regular cycle. If you have a regular cycle, okay, you're bleeding, your period is more or less clockwork. You can put your app on it and you know exactly when your period is about to come. In most cases, 80 out of 20, okay, 80 over 20 or 80 out of 100 chances, you're probably ovulating. So for example, if you sit down and you can put your period from the day one you see your bleeding to the next day one you see your bleeding for the next cycle, is about 28 days or 29 days in between, okay, that's good. That's very good. That means that you're probably ovulating, and you can track that your ovulation regularly on your app, okay? That is a very good boost on your ovulating. I know some women will not have regular period. Maybe you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, you have hormonal imbalance, high level of prolactin, and so on and so forth. Your periods might not be regular for some reasons. But if you put 10 women sitting down in our ATG IVF center, 8 out of 10 will be ovulating regularly or have regular period. Now, for those 20 that are not having regular period, it might be a challenge to calculate your ovulation. No biggie, no big deal. Now, if you're not having regular periods, the onus is on you to know why you're not having regular period. That is why you have to go to ATG IVF center to do all your hormonal profile, to know which one is imbalanced, to know which one is imbalanced, causing you to have a regular cycle, by the way. Now, let's first of all assume that number one, to know whether you're ovulating, you're having a regular period, you've done your calculation, you've seen your period every 28 days or every 29 days or every 30 days, and it's standard for you, that means that you're ovulating. And you want to find a way how you can calculate when you're actually ovulating. Now, to know when you're actually ovulating, to do the calendar working, I'm going to give you a simple rule, which I always give all the time, and which you should have watched my video on YouTube. Kemi Alaka, how are you, my sister? How are you doing? Anita Opara Ikachuku and Iwe blessing. Now, follow me. This lecture is going to be a long lecture. It's like a seminar lecture. And this is what we are aiming for in ATG, for you to be, for us to expound idea to you. Now, let us understand this. If you're having a 28-day cycle, okay, okay, let's just use a 27-day cycle, for example, okay? So this is, right? First day you see your bleeding, then you see your bleeding again at this time, okay? So you have 27 days in between, okay? From here to here. The same thing true regularly. Sometimes there'll be +1, +2, 28, 29. If you're stressed out, looking for a job, just like the new job, whatever. After your normal hello, Annabella's place, my wonderful sister from Ibadan. After your delivery, it takes about 2 months before your period becomes regular. After your delivery, after a C-section, after a normal delivery, HSG, your period could be a bit irregular for a month to 2. Don't panic, it's usual. Even after a failed IVF, God forbid, your period could be a bit irregular for the first few months. Don't panic. Let's use this 27-day idea. Okay, I know my whiteboard is a bit on the reverse picture, but despite that, don't worry. Let us use this idea to get this into ourselves. That is a 27-day thing. I always tell you, 14 days, okay, must be constant here. So you must divide your period into 2. Your menstrual cycle length. That 27 days is your menstrual cycle length. When people say, what is your menstrual cycle length? 27, for example, in this case. 28 if it's your own. 29 for someone else. Okay? Don't worry. 25-day cycle, listen. Follow me. It will be 25. If your period is 25 days all the time, it's regular, it's okay. No biggie. So this is a 27-day cycle, for example. 14 days must always be constant. Divide your period into 2. When I say divide it into 2, I don't mean 2 equal parts. I mean just into 2. It could be 2 equal or 2 unequal. Okay? Now, if it's a 28-day cycle, it will be 14 on division, equal. But if it's a 27-day cycle, it will be 14 and 13 here at the beginning. Okay? The second part is always 14, constant. Leave it for God. It's always constant. But the first part will be different. It could be what? 13, 14, depending on your cycle length. If you have a 25-day cycle, it will be what? 14 and 11. If you have a 26-day cycle, it will be 14 and 12. If you have a 28-day cycle, it will be 14 and 14. So it all depends, okay? If your period is maybe 1 or 2 days like that all the time, 27, 28, 29, 26, 27, 27, that is still regular. It's not too big. It's not a big deal. It's not going to be clockwork. And by the way, too, you're not going to see your period the same particular month figure. For example, your period might be January 14. It doesn't mean to be February 14. It doesn't mean to be March 14. It doesn't mean to be April 14. It doesn't matter. It can be if you're lucky, but it doesn't have to. Because when you count, for example, this person has a 27-day cycle, okay? 27 counting meant 4 from January 1 to January 27. 27 again might fall on a different day of that month. So it all depends, okay? So this person, 27-day cycle, has 13 days at the beginning and 14 at the end. 14 is always constant. You can see all the way here. So 13 will be always changing depending on your cycle length, okay? So that means that on day 13, this person will be ovulating here. So can start counting 1 from the first bleeding, first day of period. 1, 2, 3, 13. Get to day 13, that person will be ovulating. That day 13 will vary for every different month. That day 13 will not be the same for every month. It will be different and changing. Okay, so what you need to do first of all is download a good app. There are many apps now, Flow, whatever. Download a good app, punch your dates in there, and start counting your days. The first day you see your period, there'll be a marker you put on the app. You start count it. The next day you see your period, first day period, you put a marker there. Then the machine will start telling you when you're ovulating and all that. You can use a marker. If you don't want that, you can also use your clear blue test. That clear blue test is designed to pick up a particular hormone called the luteinizing hormone, the LH hormone, because some few hours before you ovulate, the LH hormone will surge, okay? And that strip, the clear blue line, is designed to pick up that hormone surge and then give you 2 lines to say you're ovulating. If you're not ovulating, it will give you 1 line. Ovulation is an event. It's not a 24-hour thing. Your ovary releases egg. It's an instant. It's a miracle time. Instant, bow, it releases the egg. The egg is now viable. The egg is livable. The egg can survive in your womb. The egg can survive on its way in your tube for 24 hours. In some cases, up to 48 hours. But very, very good egg will live for up to 24 hours. Now, so once you ovulate, you don't ovulate for 24 hours, but the egg can live, can be viable, and live and survive in your womb while waiting for sperm to come and meet it. If no sperm comes, the egg will disintegrate. It will bleed out because your bleeding will start to happen like a period. Now, that is why I tell people all the time, don't wait on the day of ovulation before you have sex. By waiting on the day of ovulation, what if your ovulation comes maybe day 12, maybe day 15, and you miss it, and the egg dies? Maybe the egg is not of good quality. Before you have the sex, the egg is gone. That is why it's very, very paramount and important that you have sex regularly. Because, for example, if a woman is having regular sex, I know, maybe day 11, day 12, day 14, day 15, that sperm is designed by God to live in your vagina for up to 5 days. The sperm will hide there. The more you have sex, the more the guy will pour fresh, active sperm waiting for the egg. You just need only 1 sperm. But the fact that you produce millions of sperm, okay, it's like when God pours seed on the ground. Some seed will pour on the wayside, on the rocky side. Some will pour in the rock crevices. Some will pour on the stone. Some will pour on the fertile ground. The same thing but nature produces enough so that lot will survive. Somebody said they can't hear my voice. Let me see. My voice, I got a very, very full reception here in my office here. Because of this problem of internet in my office, I have to buy lovely Wi-Fi repeaters, about 2 in my house, to boost the signal. So my signal is full. If you can't hear me, Oluchuku, please check your environment and boost your something, okay? Now, so you've done that. Regular sex. Sperm, a lot of sperm will be produced by your husband, pour into your vagina. Some will die, some will live, some will get lost, some will get tired, some will not even get into the vagina. But the most important thing is that you got good quality sperm and enough number. We want at least 40 million or more sperms we produce, and in most cases, as far as they are good quality, they will get to where they're supposed to. Fact, okay? As far as you're ovulating, they will get to where they're supposed to. Fact, okay? So you've done that. Now you know your ovulation. But if you're not having regular period, the first things first is that if your period is more than plus or minus 1 to 2, okay, apart, that means that you have to start checking yourself to know what's going on. But if you're having a regular period, you are more or less likely to be ovulating. To know whether you're ovulating from that, you can also do a test called progesterone test on day 21 of your cycle. So you can do your counting, you can do your clear blue test, you can do your day 21 progesterone. Day 21 progesterone, I want it to be at least more than 18, comfortably more than 20. That will give me indication, reassurance that you are ovulating. If your prolactin level is high too, it can affect your ovulation. So number 3, check your day 21 progesterone. If your progesterone is still very, very poor, the next thing I want to do is that I want to do further tests to know if you're ovulating or not. Those tests will include 1, your LH and FSH hormone, to know whether this woman is still ovulating at all, whether she has egg reserve at all. So if all these things, you've done all these things, you're still not ovulating, you must do your prolactin test at that stage to see if your prolactin is high. You must do your day 21 progesterone. At that stage, you must do your FSH, because what I'm looking for in your FSH is that, are you still ovulating? Because if your FSH is more than what we want it to be, it suggests that you're probably not ovulating anymore. Maybe you've gone through what we call premature menopause. I always shout out all the time. I say that all the time. Now, if you're having all the signs or the feelings, breast tenderness, all these things around your time of ovulation, but yet you're not seeing egg white, it could be that you're stressed. It could be that your prolactin is very high. High level of prolactin can make your egg white not to appear. Now, you don't have to rely or see your egg whites to know that you are ovulating. Egg white is never a guaranteed sign or guaranteed things to be seen. A lady came to me last week that, oh doctor, I've always been seeing my egg white. For the first time in almost 22 years, I didn't see my egg white this month or so like that. What is going on? I said, it's probably nothing. It could be stress. But wait and see what happens next month. You don't have to see egg white to know whether you're ovulating. In fact, the best thing to do is not to wait for ovulation, but to have sex regularly. Look, if you want to make money, for example, in stocks, you don't wait for the stocks to go up before you buy. You set your stop, your entry signal primed, waiting for the stocks to go up, because by the time the stock is already up, you've missed the opportunity. By the time you see that you're ovulating, you're probably going to miss the opportunity to have sex to get pregnant. That's why you have to have regular sex and let the sperm wait high, waiting for the egg to be released and attack the egg and get you pregnant. Felix Matthew, my baby is fine. Thank you so much. She's doing well. God bless you. Now, another thing you need to always check for ovulation, you don't have to take Clomid to ovulate. Clomid is good for certain people. If we've done all the tests, unknown infertility, for whatever reason, and we think that Clomid is going to help you, we can give you a very low dose of Clomid to make you or to force your ovaries to ovulate. We use it for people in very, very distinct cases. And if we use Clomid for people to make them ovulate, we'll tell them things to watch out for. Yes, all those clear egg white things. Sometimes they might have dull headache. Sometimes they might feel dizzy. But Clomid must be given to you only if your doctor or professional is ready to do follicular tracking to ensure that your ovary is not overstimulated that can cause damage to your ovary. Clomid is a very sensitive medication, and you don't take it lightly because it can cause damage. It can cause damage to your ovary. So we give it and we monitor your, by doing follicular tracking from around day 9. In some cases, if Clomid does not work, we can repeat it in your next cycle and even increase the dose for you or increase it higher. By the time you are taking Clomid for the fourth time, or you're going Clomid almost 150, my sister, it's unlikely that ovary is going to happen. Okay, now I won't take questions now, so hold your questions. Let me finish this talk, because you realize that if you listen, most questions will be answered, except you don't want to be honest with yourself. Okay, now Iwegumo, you're saying that you don't think you ovulate at all. Okay, now the first thing I said at the beginning of this talk is that, are you having regular period? If you're having a regular period, okay, you are likely to be ovulating. Are you seeing your egg white? You might see it. You might not even see it. It's not a guarantee. Are you, okay, have you done test, that clear blue test around your ovulation time to see whether you're ovulating? In fact, you might need to repeat your clear blue test about 3 or 4 days from around the time you think you're ovulating and until you track your ovulation. But if you're waiting to see clear blue before you have sex, you might miss the boat. That is why I tell people all the time, don't wait for clear blue, have regular sex. Now, let's proceed. Now, you've done everything you can do to track your ovulation. You've done your clear blue, the 21 progesterone, you've done your prolactin level, and every other thing possible. Yet, you're not ovulating, okay? Yet, you don't think you ovulate, or yet all the tests point to the fact that you're not ovulating. It could be a sign that probably your ovaries has been exhausted, okay? Rumor, I already said to you, you don't have to see egg white to know you're ovulating. In fact, most women don't see their egg white, okay? If your friend is seeing egg white, good for her. You don't have. I've seen many people that don't see their egg white around the ovulation. Yes. Another thing that could point that they're ovulating is that around halfway between your period, you feel so horny. You feel super horny. It's like if you want to jump on every guy that walks around the house, or that walks around where you are, or in the office. It's your hormones saying it's time to have sex. Most ladies are super horny. Most ladies are hyper horny around the ovulation time. It could be a sign that you need. Some people, they just crave for a particular food. They crave for a particular delicacy around the ovulation. Some people, they get irritable during the ovulation. Trust me, I can tell you, they get angry easily during the ovulation because the hormones are raging. The hormones are pouring to the system saying that I need to have sex. And some people, during the ovulation, you just put your hand on their tummy or on their waist. It's warm, as in super hot. They are on heat. This is what we call, if you don't agree cultural science in your secondary school, they say a mammal is on the menstrual cycle. That mammal is on heat. You touch your tummy, it's so hot. That is why if you do your temperature check around your ovulation, your temperature is a bit hot and warm. And people say, you feel so hot and warm there. Are you okay? You feel perfectly fine. It's just that the fact that you're ovulating and you feel on heat. Some people, what they have is that they have pain in a particular part of their tummy where their ovary is ovulating from. Those could be signs that you are ovulating or about to ovulate. Now, but don't wait for ovulation for you to have sex. Now, let's take questions now because people are already itching to ask questions because people are not going to listen. People don't want to listen to anything. They just want to ask questions. I will take your questions. I'm designed to do that, but listen to the answers. Now, Princess Amazi is asking, she's having a regular cycle 28 days. She wants me to tell her when she's ovulating. Now, if I tell you now, will I tell 1 million people when they are ovulating? No. You have to listen and watch the video from the beginning. And once you understand the concept, okay, you can decipher yourself when you're ovulating. But if you don't want to understand the concept, you keep on asking questions forever. You have to watch the egg white. And see, I'm confused now. You have to watch the video from the beginning to catch the concept of calculating your ovulation, okay? Does brand discharge during ovulation normal? Ovulation is not about brand discharge. If you're having brand discharge in your ovulation, probably you need to check your cervix to check for any abnormality in your cervix or check for infection. Brand discharge is it's got nothing to do with ovulation. I don't even notice any sign of during my ovulation, but I do have regular period. Very good. So Agege, you're probably ovulating. The numbers on the IVF center is not worth going because they've closed. It's not a hospital, it's a clinic. IVF center, ATG, closes by 5 p.m. They open 9 a.m. and they close by 5 p.m. Tomorrow morning, Saturday, they open by 10 and they'll close by 2. It's not a hospital. They don't open 24 hours. It's a clinic, okay? And the IVF center closes by 5 p.m. on a weekday. So they're already closed now. If you call them, they won't answer. But tomorrow morning, send a text or call them, they will answer you, okay? They open by 10 a.m. tomorrow, okay? Thank you, Gloria, for answering Idowu Fagbongwe. So call them, they will tell you everything you need to know. Thank you, Yemi Beckis. God bless you. Ubwefi Nwaneka. Okay. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Shade Gomez. Thank you, Yemi Beckis. God bless you. Your cycle is 35 days. If you have a 35-day cycle, but it's regular, you're probably ovulating, okay? All you need to do is do this 35-day cycle, okay? And you have 14 here. That means that you're going to have what? 21. So you're probably having 21 days and you're going to ovulate on your day 21. That's all. You ovulate on day 21. What age does one enter premenopause? There's no standard age. But most women will go into premenopause from around age 52. Okay? Some will go earlier, 45. Okay? Depends on so many factors. Okay? It's like you say there's a car. They say that this car they produced, though, it can last for 10 years. But some people, their own car will last for 5 years. That same car, some people, they will get it, that car will last for almost 11 years. So it's how you use the car, how you use your body, okay? That same car that has been produced for everybody, some people, it will last longer. It depends on how you use it, okay? Your lifestyle, what you eat. Are you smoking Igbo, smoking ganja? Are you smoking marijuana? Are you stressing yourself? All those things will affect the longevity of your ovaries. Which test can I do to know if I'm ovulating? You can do your day 21 progesterone, or you can do a clear blue test, okay? Is it normal to be seeing period 26 days every month? Is normal. It's okay. Okay, it's normal. Doctor, I noticed that after my period, I keep having brand discharge in my next period. I don't get your question. Doctor, your cycle is 37, 33, 30 something days is irregular. For that, you have to start doing tests now from tomorrow. Call the office tomorrow, the ATG IVF office laboratory, and get all your hormonal profile done. Chocolate Beauty on Instagram, she's saying that, doctor, please, I'm seeing something like mucus when pregnant. Is it normal? It's normal. When you're pregnant, you're going to have clear discharge. That'll be more profuse than before. It's your progesterone hormone. It will make you have more discharge in pregnancy. It's nothing to worry about. But if you're leaking water in pregnancy or blood, then get checked out. Okay? If your period is irregular, 31 days, 33 days, 27 days, that's irregular. Get all your hormonal profile done to know why it's irregular, okay? When you press your breast, you see milk discharge. Prolactin is 0.8. What can you do? I'll suggest you repeat your prolactin in a different center entirely. Repeat your prolactin in a different center. That is for my sister on Instagram here. Do your prolactin in a different lab and then let's see what's going on. Your cycle is 28 days exactly. Before it's 30 days. What could be the cause? It's probably your body is behaving normal. There's nothing to worry about. As far as your period is regular, some people, their period is 30 days. Then they have a baby, their period will now change to maybe 28 days. As far as it's regular, that's all you need. You want to have twins. So which test can you do before you can be given Clomid? I don't know what test that you mean. I don't know what test you try and ask for. What is the cause of dark blood during ovulation? It's probably, maybe it's the implantation bleeding, I don't know. But when you're ovulating, you don't have dark blood though. Or probably you're on some hormonal medications that is causing withdrawal bleeding. I don't know what that is. Can someone conceive while breastfeeding? Yes, you can conceive if you are breastfeeding, you're not doing exclusive breastfeeding, okay? If you're breastfeeding and you're more than 6 months doing exclusive breastfeeding, you can get pregnant. If you want to breastfeed and not get pregnant, you have to do regular breastfeeding exclusively, hourly and on demand, no supplements, and it must be less than 6 months following pregnancy. Once it's more than 6 months, it's not reliable. Okay, doctor, your period is 38. Is it good or bad? If your period is 30 days and is regular, my sister, Becca, is okay. What causes 16-week miscarriage? Probably infection, probably implantation failure, probably chromosomal abnormalities, probably genetic abnormalities, or sometimes even weakness on the cervix. Anything can cause this miscarriage, okay? You always have painful menstruation. What could be the cause? It could be ovarian cysts, it could be endometriosis, it could be blocked cervix. These things can cause pain during your period. Can a woman of 40 years old use her own egg in IVF? I would say no. If you're more than 40, you want to get pregnant, you're already using your own egg, you can't get pregnant. Why do you want to use your own egg? You've been trying to get pregnant for years, you're already 40, your egg is not making you pregnant. Why do you want to use your own egg in IVF? You're probably going to fail. Chances of you getting pregnant in IVF using your own egg, if you're more than 40, is about 4 to 6%, maximum 10%. So if you're above 40, you're trying to get pregnant on your own with your own egg, it doesn't happen, and you want to go for IVF, there's every chance, 8 out of 10, that your eggs will not be very good and useful doing IVF. I'm sorry to say that, but it's just the fact. I'm sorry to be the person bearing that sudden news, but I'm just trying to be honest with you. How can one count pregnancy? Is it immediately after ovulation? It depends on the country. In some countries, they'll count your pregnancy from the day you ovulate. Some will say from the day of your missed period. I mean, your last period. So it depends on what country you have. That could have a week, 2 weeks or more, 2 weeks or less, depending. So it depends on which country you are. In UK here, we use last menstrual period. In America, I think they use the day of ovulation. Which one is correct? Both are correct. It depends on what is being used in that region you have. What causes endometriosis? We don't know. Sinachi, we don't know what really causes endometriosis. So there's so many, about 5 theories of possible causes of endometriosis, but we don't know which one. What about letrozole? Can it be used alone? I don't know what you mean. Ijoma Okuneye. I don't know what you mean, but I don't get your question. Your period changes 25, 26, 27 is regular. I said it before, Chinwe matter, that if it's just 1 or 2 days minus, plus or minus 1 plus 2 days either side, plus or minus, is regular. Don't panic. You did adesyolysis surgery and still your period is not flowing. Can you conceive? After adesyolysis, your period is not flowing. I suggest you get hysteroscopy done. You can get your hysteroscopy done to see whether there's any further scar tissue being formed in your womb cavity that is blocking. Get a hysteroscopy done at ATG IVF Center. Your period is 28 days, 32 days, 36 days, that is irregular. Find out why it's irregular. Get all your hormonal profile done at ATG office tomorrow to know why your period is scattered like that, running like chicken. Sorry, my sister. Your period is 27, 28 days is regular. What causes scanty period? Maybe cervical stenosis, that is blocked cervix from infection or from previous DNC, or Asherman syndrome from scar tissue in your womb cavity. Those can cause scanty period. Yes. If you use someone's egg for IVF, does the baby have my DNA? No. It might have your husband's DNA if your husband's sperm is used. Bakari. If you use some egg donor, the baby cannot have your DNA. Let's not lie to ourselves. If you're going to use egg donor strictly, and you're using your own husband's sperm, your baby will have your husband's DNA and your egg donor's DNA. Your baby will not have your DNA. If you're using a different sperm donor, you're using an egg donor, baby is not going to have anybody DNA. It's going to have the donor's DNA. But the most important thing is that it's not baby because baby is baby. Baby is yours out of love. Some people, their baby is their genetic makeup. They don't love the baby, and baby doesn't even love them because they don't show love to the baby. Okay, I tell people all the time, my father and my mother were never related. They got married out of love. My siblings are related to me because we are the same blood. But some of my siblings, I'm not close to them. Some people are my friends. I love them and our bond is stronger than even my siblings. So people are in your life, not through only blood, but also through love. I don't know, my wife is not related to me. I got my wife through love. My baby is related to me. My baby is related to me and my wife separately, not my wife and me. My wife and me are formed through love. So your baby can be yours through love. Yes. Through adoption. Yes. Through donor. Yes. If your baby is your blood, does it mean baby will love you? I don't know. Does it mean baby will hate you? I don't know. But if your baby is your blood or not, but you show baby love, your baby will love you. My father was raised by a Baptist missionary from America. My father had 2 mothers. The one that born naturally. That is my own grandma, my father's side. And that Oyinbo woman who adopted my father and trained him to school. So my father always asked to, that's why if you look at our hospital logo in Lagos, you see Babara Epperson and Alalade. That is that woman. That woman had no children. But she ensured that she raised many children in Africa before she left. And if you check that woman's name on the internet, it's still there. She raised so many children and her name lives on. You don't have to have baby to have children. Yes, you don't have to. It's a sad, and it's the fact of life. It's love that matters. Love that matters. What causes closed cervix when one is not pregnant? Maybe you had a previous infection that you didn't know, that you knew. You had a previous DNC or something else. But your cervix is not closed. It's only closed when your period is not there. Once your period is starting, it opens to let your period come out. And once you're pregnant, your cervix closes until it's time to deliver. What causes backache and urination? for a week now. If you're having infection in your bladder, you might have backache. So check your bladder, check your urine for infection. Hello, Vivian Itua, my sister from Italy. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fabulous. You're doing well. What causes backache? I already answered you for Saturday, George. You're seeing white discharge in the days to your ovulation. Does it mean you're ovulating? It could mean so. Yes, it could mean so, but it's not a guarantee. Is surgery the best procedure for fibroid removal? Yes, to remove fibroid is surgery, okay? Especially if your fibroid is more than 5 centimeters. But you can take medications to shrink fibroids, yes. But those medications are designed to switch off your ovaries because the ovaries produces some particular hormones which makes fibroid grow. And this same hormone that make fibroid grow are the same hormones you need to ovulate. So if we switch off your ovaries by those medications, you're not going to ovulate and you're not going to get pregnant naturally. Okay? That is why whenever we give you medications to switch off your ovary to make fibroid shrink, you can't get pregnant. Okay? But to remove fibroid without any hormonal treatment is through surgery. There's another thing we can do to shrink fibroid, which is called uterine artery embolization. Uterine fibroid embolization or uterine artery embolization. UAE or UFE, whatever you call it, whether it's UFE or UAE, is not Dubai. It's to block the blood vessels supplying the fibroid. But this is only done for people that are not planning to get pregnant again. If you're going for uterine artery embolization, you've made up your mind that you're not getting pregnant again. Can endometriosis delay fertility? Yes. Endometriosis can damage your tubes. It can damage ovaries. Endometriosis can cause infertility. True. Yes. What causes multiple eggs not going normally? Maybe your eggs are not of good quality. Can HSG be done at ATG? No, we don't do HSG at ATG center because we don't have the X-ray space. We have the X-ray machine, but there's no space to put the X-ray machine yet at the ATG IVF center. You've done hysteroscopy. It says you're okay. You've been put on Dopemu. Very good, Agege. Can urine infection? Justina Agbalahon, please, if you get urine infection after ovulation, what are you trying to say, Agbalahon? I don't get your question. I don't get your question, Agbalahon. I don't get it. Please, let us get it. Can you take juice plus something at the same time take prenatal care? Yes. What causes discharge with spot of blood on every 16th day within a period cycle? What sort of discharge? What sort of blood? If it's normal discharge, every woman designed by God has a discharge. The question is the discharge normal or is it abnormal? Normal discharge is clear around your ovulation. Normal discharge is not offensive. Normal discharge does not itch. And normal discharge does not contain blood. If any of these things is there, get examined and get swabs done to know what infection is possibly causing this abnormal discharge and what treatment you need. If you don't treat infection on time, if you don't catch infection on time, they cause infertility by causing damage to your tubes. So don't guess and don't start swallowing antibiotics without knowing what is causing your unusual discharge. Today, being 14 days of your cycle, you were induced with clomid and dofastone. That question is gone. Try. Something dofastone. I did see that thing again. Guys, slow down. Let me get this question. Oh. Anyway, what could cause scanty period after treatment? After what treatment? What is causing scanty period after treatment? After what treatment? Is there any danger of taking Ovulmin 50 even when you ovulate? No, it's no danger. It's okay. Oja or Noja? Abuja, welcome. What causes scanty periods? You have multiple breast lump surgery. Does it mean if you remove fibroid, it will grow? Your cyst in your breast does not affect fibroid now. It's got nothing to do with fibroid. Your breast lump has got nothing to do with your fibroid, okay? So there are two different things entirely, and they've got nothing to do. What are treatments for endometriosis? To treat endometriosis, we can give you hormones to switch off your ovaries too, just like the way we do for fibroids. And they will shrink the endometriosis. But while you are taking those hormones, you can't get pregnant too, because they switch off your ovaries. And those ovaries produces hormones too that make you ovulate. Other options could be surgery, where we use laser to burn off endometriosis on your ovaries. But those surgery also has a risk of destroying some good portions, very rare though, of your ovary. They're very rare. So if someone has a very, very low ovarian reserve, we don't want to destroy the endometriosis on the ovary, because there's a chance that we might destroy the normal ovaries too, or destroy part of the normal ovaries too. So we avoid it. Is there any drug to open blocked tubes apart from flushing it? There's no drug. If anybody sells you a medication that take this medication, it will open your blocked tubes, my sister, you want a lie. If anybody is selling you any medication that, if you take this medication, you swallow it, it will open your blocked tube, you are in for a bad way. No medication opens a blocked tube. The best you can do for blocked tube is to do adultobation to flush the tubes. But like I say all the time here, it only works 1 out of every 25, 1 out of every 4 patients. Sorry. And if it's not working for you, the next thing will be to consider IVF. I know it's expensive, I know. But the fact is that's why I'm always shouting here, you need to check if you're having any offensive discharge. Check for infection and treat them as soon as possible so that you won't have blocked tube. And you must always treat your vagina like an open wound with respect to prevent any infection. Don't go and start putting jabojantis, all those poor bishop people put into their vagina, and they make their vagina into a refuse bin. Don't go and start putting all those useless things in your vagina and turn your vagina into a sewage tank, and you think that you won't have infection. Don't go and put anything that put in your vagina, don't put it there. The only thing that is for vagina is your husband's penis and tampon that must be removed at the right time. Easy Anna, I've already answered your question. Easy Anna, I already answered your question. Can one travel back to UK a week after embryo transfer? I'll say give it at least 2 weeks. And drink a lot of water as well during your travel. Ensuring that you are moving up and down. You wear your TED stockings to prevent blood clots on the airline. And you keep yourself mobile. You drink at least 3 liters of clear water. Not orange juice or clear water. Ammonia green, I didn't cover you today. Can one get pregnant with fluid in the tube? If your tube has fluid in them, it's likely that tube is blocked. When you see fluid in the tube, it means what we call adultobation. That could mean the tubes are blocked or damaged. You notice that for the past 4 months, your period is irregular, you're not pregnant. Get your hormonal profile done. Can you use magic pad? I don't know what magic pad is. If you think it's good, use it. But be careful. Read the label well. I don't know what magic pad is. What is magic? What's magic about the pad? It's not going to make you fly. I don't know what's in the magic pad, so I don't know about it. Can one get pregnant with liquid in the tube? Very unlikely if the tubes are blocked. What causes heavy flow? Fibroid can cause heavy flow. Yes. Thank you guys for being here today again. I think we've exhausted the time tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow we got a seminar, the ATG IVF seminar, and it's going to be on ovulation and infertility and clonage as well. It's going to be fabulous. Let me tell you something. You don't want to miss that seminar tomorrow because I'll be dishing out some free gifts for those that attend only. For those that attend only. Linda is asking what test should she do. Just call our center tomorrow morning. Call our ATG IVF center and they'll give you a list of tests to do as soon as possible, okay? And you can get them done, okay? Hope to see you all soon. Thank you all for joining me today. I really appreciate you. God bless you and see you later. Bye-bye.